Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yara, and today I want to share with you a pretty crazy story from my past that's still haunting me to this day. So, okay, it's been about a year since I've talked about this on camera, but I feel like it's time to confront it head on. It's not exactly something I'm proud of, but I think sharing it might help me process what happened and maybe even warn some of you out there who might be going through similar experiences. I met Sawyer a few months ago at a mutual friend's party. We hit it off immediately, and before I knew it, we were on our 5th date. He seemed like the perfect guy, charming, funny, and always up for an adventure. Esme, his best friend, was also really cool, but that's beside the point. So basically, Sawyer asked me if I knew how to swim, and I'm pretty sure I gave him a completely false answer. Like, I literally told him I had been swimming since I was 5 years old and had even won a few local competitions. I mean, who doesn't love bragging about their supposed athletic prowess on a first date, right? Looking back, it's hilarious how gullible I must have been. Anyway, Sawyer invited me to join him for a camping trip with Esme in about 2 weeks' time. It seemed like a super fun and relaxing weekend, so I agreed without really thinking twice about the whole swimming thing. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Oh wait, my heart started racing just thinking about it. The day of the trip arrived, and we set off early in the morning to get there before the sun went down. Sawyer and Esme were both super excited to be out in nature, and I was happy to join them on what promised to be a fun adventure. As we were setting up our tents near the lake, I started feeling this weird sense of unease. I told myself it was just nerves, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Sawyer kept telling me how much fun he was going to have kayaking and paddleboarding on the lake, and I didn't know how to say no without freaking him out. And then, we went for a walk around the shore, and that's when it hit me hard. Sawyer asked if I wanted to try swimming with him in the lake, and my heart literally stopped. I tried to play it cool, telling him I was just not feeling up for it today, but he didn't believe me. He kept pushing me until I finally just. Yeah. I told him I wasn't a strong swimmer or that I needed to learn how to swim before I could join him in the water. That's when everything went downhill fast. Sawyer became this super condescending and dismissive of my concerns, telling me that I was scared or not confident enough to try something new. Esme tried to intervene, but by then it was too late. Sawyer took one look at me and said he thought I was just making excuses. And then, well, let's just say things escalated quickly after that. Next thing I know, we're in the water, and Sawyer is trying to swim with this terrified mess of a person on his arm. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating when I say my heart is racing still thinking about it. I remember feeling like I was going to pass out as he pulled me further into the water. The waves were crashing against us, and Sawyer just kept pushing forward, like he was some kind of lifeguard expert or something. Esme was standing on the shore, watching us with a mixture of horror and concern etched on her face. I tried to struggle free from his grip, but he held tight, his arms wrapped around me like I was a lifeline. The water was icy cold, and I could feel my body shutting down, my muscles numbing, my breath coming in short gasps. I was convinced that we were both going to die. But then, something inside of me snapped. Maybe it was the fear, maybe it was the frustration, or maybe it was just the sheer terror of being trapped in a situation I couldn't escape. Whatever it was, I managed to break free from Sawyer's grasp and swim away from him as fast as I could. I didn't look back. I just kept swimming, my heart pounding in my chest, my lungs burning. I could feel Sawyer shouting after me, calling out for me to come back, but I ignored him. I swam until I was sure we were far enough apart that he couldn't reach me. Finally, I reached the shore and stumbled onto dry land, gasping for air like a drowning person, because, technically, I basically was. Esme rushed over to me, concern etched on her face, and asked if I was okay. But before she could even try to comfort me, Sawyer emerged from the water, his hair plastered to his forehead, his eyes blazing with anger. "You lied to me," he spat, his voice dripping with venom. "You told me you couldn't swim, and then you pretend like it's my fault." He took a step closer to me, his fists clenched at his sides. I could see the muscles tensing in his arms, ready to strike. "I know," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, as if trying not to escalate the situation further. "I'm so sorry, Sawyer." My eyes locked onto his, pleading for him to understand that it wasn't just a careless lie, it was a desperate attempt to be honest about my crippling fear. But Sawyer's anger seemed to blind him to my sincerity. He took another step closer, his face inches from mine, and I could feel the heat radiating from his body. "How can you not know how to swim?" he demanded, his voice rising. "Is it something wrong with me?" I shook my head, feeling a lump form in my throat. "No, Sawyer, it's nothing about you. It's just, I've always been terrified of the water. Growing up, I was always hesitant to get in the pool or go swimming. My parents would try to coax me, but I'd freeze up every time." I took a deep breath and continued, hoping to explain myself before he lost his temper completely. "I know it sounds stupid now," I said, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes, "but I just wanted you to see that I was scared. I didn't want you to think I was weak or something." My voice cracked as I spoke, and Sawyer's expression softened ever so slightly. Esme stepped forward, her presence calming the air. Hey, let's not jump to conclusions here, she said, placing a gentle hand on Sawyer's arm. Maybe Yara wasn't lying about feeling scared. Sawyer hesitated, his eyes darting between me and Esme before finally nodding. Okay, he said gruffly, but I could see the tension in his body begin to ease. I took a deep breath and tried to process what was happening. Sawyer didn't seem entirely upset anymore, and I realized that maybe, just maybe, my confession had done more good than harm. As we stood there on the beach, the sun dipping below the horizon, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. But as I looked at Sawyer, I couldn't help but wonder, would he still be interested in me now that he knew the truth? Had my lie almost been the death of us? I glanced over at Esme, who was watching us with an understanding smile. She leaned in and whispered, sometimes, honesty can be scary, but it's also the bravest thing you can do. And honestly, I still think about that day on the beach, not just because of the near-drowning experience, but because of what Sawyer told me after we got back to his place. I'd rather have someone who's honest with me and willing to be scared than someone who pretends to be something they're not.